Hello, it's me, Rachel. Welcome back to Blue Moon Pathways, week 3. How many weeks do you think I'll actually keep count for? I'm actually intrigued to know how many weeks I decide I'll keep count for, because I guarantee you in about 2 or 3 weeks I'll forget what I'm up to, and then I'll just be like, week, something or other. Hi, welcome. This week's been interesting. You know how last week I said the universe has a really strange and twisted sense of humour? It has a really strange and twisted sense of humour. So, I've been in isolation for a week. I'm a close contact. My mum tested positive for COVID, which means that I've been stuck in my house for the last 6 days. I have one more day, and then I should be free so long as I keep testing negative. Thank goodness. Although, as annoying as it has been to be in quarantine over the Easter period, it's worked well for me, because normally when I have time off from work, I am constantly running around or doing things, and this has been an opportunity to actually rest and relax and recharge. So there is a positive amongst it all. My mum is getting better, but I think she's going to have the side effects for quite some time. But yeah, it was literally like the universe was just like, you know what? You guys are just gonna have to stop. So we were made stop. But I have been able to get a lot of stuff organised for Blue Moon Pathways, get a lot of the social media content sort of pre-planned, and some of it even pre-recorded, which is a bonus for me. I also did a little bit of online shopping, and got some new additions to my deck collection from a local store, our Satellite Hearts, which offered free contactless delivery for orders over a certain amount of money. So what did I get? I will share. I have the Seeker Oracle, which is just so pretty. These will all be used in upcoming card of the days on Facebook. So head on over to our Facebook and have a look at what we do there, because there will now be starting today, there will be card of the days, which is always fun. I missed doing that. Then this one I've been eyeing off for some time. It is the Angels Among Us deck. What I really like is the fact that it takes archangels and gods and goddesses and sort of makes them a little bit more relatable to today's youth. I'm not a youth, but today's sort of generation. Then I have Denise Lynn's The Sacred Forest, and her cards are just so pretty. Like, I don't think you can go wrong with a Denise Lynn deck. I think she's absolutely amazing. Her decks are gorgeous, her books are amazing, and her meditations are awesome too. And then this one just makes me smile because, you know, I love all things odd and unusual. The Mystic Martian Oracle. Hey, look at those cards. Looks so cool. I love it. So I have 4 new additions to my library, which will all be used in upcoming card of the days, which is nice. We are in our we've just finished our second week of the Learn With Me Tarot. So I think we got to card number 13. Did we get to death? I think we got to death today. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got to death today. Yes, we did, because it's not a bad card. It's actually one of the more positive cards in the deck, which is always really strange, because anytime you pull a death card, people go, oh no, and it's like, actually it's a good thing, so it's fine. Like, don't worry, like, you're not, nothing bad is going to happen. It's actually the New Beginnings card. And we also had our second week of the Crystal Showcase in which we focused on polychrome jasper. So if you want to know more about polychrome jasper, it is one of my favorites. I don't know why it's one of my favorites. You see that big staircase looking thing in the corner up there? I think it looks like a staircase. That was actually my first piece of polychrome jasper that I bought. There's a tiny little chip on the top of it, but I'm madly in love with it. On the other side of it, it's actually more that blue color, but it is gorgeous. It is a relatively new stone, having only been discovered in, I think, 2008 while they were mining for ocean jasper. So yeah, it is an interesting stone. I really like it. It sort of just makes me happy to look at it. I don't know why it makes me happy to look at it. It just does. It's one of those stones that there's no explanation as to why I love it as much as I do. I just really do. Now, the other week, or last week, I had a comment asking me what do the different shapes and carvings and things mean. Do they work for different things, or how does that all work? Personally, I buy based off what I like the look of. You do have things like double terminated points, which is 1 point will draw out negative energy because you're supposed to hold it like this. So 1 point away from you, 1 point towards you. One side drags out negative energy, one side brings in positive energy. So things like that do have a reason behind them. You will then have, I don't even know if I do have some tumblestones in here. Not in here. You then have mushrooms, which I have just because I like them. I think they're quite cute. I was never the mushroom girl. You then have little palm stones or thumb stones, which these, as you can see, have a tiny little divot in them. They are great for, I think they were like the first ever fidget toy for me, really, because like you can just, if you're stressed or anxious or whatever, you just sit and you just play. So those ones are really handy just to have in your pocket if you're feeling anxious. Tumblestones are probably the gateway stone that everyone sort of starts with. They're easy. They're most of the time fairly inexpensive, depending on where you get them from. These ones are easy because you can put them in the little charm necklaces, the cages, like these. Put them in little charm necklaces. You can carry them around with you. Makes it easy. They also go in wallets or bags or anything like that. Nice and easy. So you've got all of them. Then you run into things like, as you sort of get more involved, I'm just going to move over slightly, you can fall into slices, which are raw, polished little pieces. Now for me, these sort of connect more with the natural side of crystals. Like I always think that when you've got a raw crystal, you're more connecting to the Mother Earth side of things. And you have statement pieces, which, yes, the crystal still works perfectly well, but they are more of a focal point, more something to get somebody's attention, to start a conversation. Because, like, seriously, look at that. To me, this one looks like little tiny people climbing a cliff. Then we have, you've got things like your spheres, which work well on crystal grids because you can put them on a stand and they are like a focal point of the crystal grid. Also, this is all just my opinion and what I use them for. Spheres are also the thing where I fidget with a lot of my crystals. Now when I fidget, I tend to think that like it's like moving the energy around. So like taking it from one to another, at least getting it up and moving again. I also really like jumping back in here just to point out that the next like minute of conversation, I meant to say spheres. There was a time where I really didn't like my spheres and I passed them along to a lot of different new homes. But in the original video, I just keep saying crystals. Like, there was a time I didn't like crystals. I mean to say spheres. Spheres. There was a time where I wasn't attracted to the spheres in my collection, and I passed them all on to a new home. Okay, back to it. Look for crystals. I didn't. For a while, I actually got rid of quite a few of my crystals because I just wasn't feeling them anymore. Which is another thing, like, you get crystals based on what you like and what you feel like. At the moment, the thing I have the most of is my towers. Now, you can have them in multiple sizes or anything like that. These are like little generators. So like they, how do I explain them? I'm thinking. Generators, for me, towers and points and little obelisky things, they sort of remind me of like a little, they are a generator because the power sort of comes from the bottom and it escapes through the top. So I normally, if I'm working with towers, I have them sort of situated near the thing that I'm working with. If I'm working with tarot cards or oracle cards and I need a little bit of an extra charge up, I will sort of put them all around. You can also use them with crystal grids as well if you're looking to streamline where the energy is going or what energy base you're working with. They're also really good to work with in meditations because they are something that you can hold on to. If you keep the point coming out, then to me, if you keep the point coming out and you're actually holding on to it and it's centered, anything that shouldn't be there can escape. But it also gives the universe a chance to pull anything in for you. So really, it is a lot about how you, and then you've got carvings. And carvings are a personal thing. I have a lot of little owl carvings because I love owls. I also have skulls. I have pumpkins. I have Christmas trees. I have butterflies. I have apples. I have angels. I have a lot of little different carvings, and carvings are all, the crystal works perfectly well the same way as it would any other shape or form that it takes. It is just personal preference for looks, really. Which it sounds mean to say that we pick crystals off looks, but you do. For a lot of people, you either pick the crystal off. For me, I pick crystals based off feel. Like if I am drawn to it, then I will take it with me. Otherwise, you can be like physically attracted to the look of a crystal and be like, yes, that is what I am drawn to. That crystal looks nice. I'm going to enjoy using it. And then you find out what it's normally used for, what its uses are, and you go, oh yeah, there's a reason that caught my eye. Me, normally what happens is I will walk past a crystal and go, oh, that was pretty. Keep walking around a store or a booth or something, and then be like, I'm gonna go back. And then what happens is you sort of look, and for me, the minute I reach out and touch something, that's me saying I'm taking it home with me, because normally what happens is I reach out, I touch something, I put it in my hand and I go, I'm not putting you down anytime soon. So that's just me and how I buy and how I find them. Online shopping for them is completely different, because that is just an instinct gut feeling, like you see it on the live sale and you go, that's mine, and if I don't get it, I'm going to have a panic attack and I'm going to break down and cry right here and right now. And there have been certain crystals which I have missed on live sales, and I sit there and I go, why didn't I get that? I wanted it. And then a few minutes later I realized that I wanted it. I didn't necessarily need it. There are two very different things for crystals. You can want one because it appeals to you, or you can need one because the universe is like, you need to work with this crystal, because wondrous things will happen if you do actually set your mind to it. That being said, the whole thing of, a crystal isn't a superpower. It's not a magic wand. You can't just sit there and go, I want to change. I want to be more creative. They don't work like that. They help you, but you have to do the work. I know, right? What is this? You have to do the work. I know. It sucks a little bit. Like, there are some days where I myself do personally wish that the spiritual side of things would just be like a little magic wand that was like, woohoo, it's all fixed. You're cured, you're perfect, you're absolutely amazing. Nothing will drag you down. The negative thoughts won't touch you. The negative thoughts won't sneak in. Like, I'm surrounded with black tourmaline and obsidian and all of these protective stones, this one included. And still, I struggle with imposter syndrome and feeling like what I'm doing isn't enough, or why isn't it connecting with anyone, or why isn't this going faster, or why isn't it moving forward, or why am I not able to make a full living from it, or why? I know why. Because it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. And at the end of the day, I started this journey for me and to make me feel better and to help my own mental, spiritual, emotional well-being. And I know that over time it could possibly turn into something more. I also have to realize that I have to trust my instincts a little bit more. And you know, that little voice in your head that tells you, hey, you should, or hey, I want to. Those are good voices to listen to. Like, hey, I want to create an oracle deck. Yes, I do. Yes, I can. Yes, it would be hard work and it would require a lot of time and dedication and patience. And yeah, it would be really, really fruitful at the end of it, probably. Not just like money side of things. It would probably be very fruitful, like spiritually and emotionally and like mentally. It would be great for me to do that. And I've wanted to do that now for like 3 years. Longer than that because it was before COVID. So like probably 5 years or something. And I have taken the steps to start it. I have it all written down. I know what I want to do. And then I get halfway through the process and I go, not even halfway. I get a quarter of the way through the process and I go, I don't want to do it anymore. It's too much hard work. So here is the thing. I won't lie. I struggle with keeping on track. Probably the same as everybody else does. Like, I'm not going to say I know everything. I don't. I'm learning. I will make mistakes. But guess what? I'm going to share them with you because we're going to be really transparent and honest here. If you want to know something, ask. If I don't know, I will tell you to the best of my abilities. I will tell you from my experience. Like I said, there are more reasons to using towers and generators and hearts and spheres and everything like that. How you use a crystal is completely up to you. I don't see there being a right or a wrong way. So long as you're not sitting there with a hammer and smashing it, we're fine. Physically pained me to think of somebody sitting with a hammer and smashing a beautiful. That was sad. I know they get carved and chipped and like you. The idea of somebody doing it with malice though is very upsetting. So please don't do that. And if you do, don't tell me because I think it might break my heart. So yeah, that was random. But yeah, so that is sort of where I am. I will share my journey. I will share the highs, the lows. When the universe decides it wants to be a funny bugger, I will let you know. When the universe turns around and wants to tear me down and pull me back to the ground and be like, hey, you need to start again, because that's what it is. Whenever you have that energy shift, that thing that pulls you down, where your brain is going, I don't want to. With the days where you just don't want to do anything and you just feel like the world is against you, those are days where the universe is like, you know what? Start again. Sorry. Start again. Sorry. Start again. If I have to start you from the beginning every single time until you make the changes that you need to make, then I'm going to pull you back down to the ground. You're going to hit rock bottom. The annoying thing is sometimes you have to hit rock bottom before you actually are willing and able to rebuild yourself in a different way. You can hit obstacles or like stepping stones and you can go, yep, cool. I can overcome that obstacle. But the universe sits there and goes, if you're not going to overcome that obstacle in a healthy and helpful manner, what was the point of getting over that stepping stone? If I've thrown this massive obstacle in your way and you've just gone, I can see a shortcut around that. You didn't learn the lesson that the obstacle was there to teach you. So guess what? That obstacle's going to come back and it's going to hit you in the head and you're going to roll backwards a little bit further. And then you're going to have to face like 3 or 4 more obstacles to get over that one obstacle because you decided to find a different way to go around it. Me, I get hit with the obstacle every 6 months or so. And the last time I got hit with it was when I decided, you know what, I'll just take 2 to 3 weeks off doing all the spiritual stuff. And that was like 3-4 years ago. So safe to say that when the universe decided to hit me with a rock bottom, it hit me with a rock bottom and it pulled me far, far away from the things that would probably act as a life jacket. This is my life jacket. I've realized that now. It's taken me a long time to realize that this is one of my life jackets. I have a few. I have people in my life that are my life jackets too, that have the ability to pick me up when they can see that it's going badly. But for my own self and knowing what I can do to help me when I am starting to tumble, these are the life jackets. These are also the things that I can't lie to. They call you on every little part of your being. And you can't lie to them. You can pretend. I could sit here and do readings and go, that doesn't resonate with me. 9 times out of 10 it does. Until I'm doing it for somebody else. And then the minute I'm doing it for somebody else, or I do a card of the day reading and I have something else in my head, or I get a text message off somebody while I'm doing a card of the day, I go, yep, that's no longer based around me, it's more based around them. Or it's not just for everybody, it is streamlined to a certain person. Which was really funny because I was actually doing a TikTok video last night for a card of the day, and I didn't post it because TikTok messed up on me and I couldn't do what I wanted to do. But I was doing something, I was doing the card of the day, and I was on YouTube and something came up on YouTube and I was like, the card that came out directly related to what I was watching on YouTube at the time. And I was like, yeah, see, this is what happens. The universe does this whole like little thing and we all just sit here and go, yep, everything's connected. As annoying as that sounds, everything's connected. And I hate to be one of those people that goes like, there's a reason for everything. Some days it doesn't feel like there's a reason for anything. And then you move past it. And then you look back on it. And you go, oh, that's why that happened. I dropped it, ran away, the crystal. There's a reason for everything. I dropped that because I've been fiddling with it. But yeah, so that is it. I will upload the 2 new TikTok series things in a little video edit. So we'll have week 2 of the Learn Tarot with me. And then we'll have the second crystal for the showcase, which is really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I think I only have about another 10 days or so and we finish the major arcana for tarot. And then I'll be changing sort of the look of how we do the minors, because 13 cards was a whole lot of work for 1 card every single day. So we'll be changing that. I completely forgot. I actually do have another card deck. I got the Grunge Tarot. But because it was in the tarot deck, not in with the oracles, I completely blanked on it. I love this too. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah. Alright. I will upload those other 2 things. Leave a comment below telling me what you would like me to talk about next. If you want me to cover any specific topics in the future, what you want to know more about. What crystal would you like to see in the showcase, in the Crystal a Week showcase that we do on TikTok? I've also started doing over on Instagram, we have deck reviews. So I go through my Oracle decks and I tell you a little bit about why I got them, why I love them, and what I use them for. Sometimes who I use them for, because certain decks go with certain groups of people in my life. But yeah, that is everything from me. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye!